Okay, let's be real for a second. You've built a Notion dashboard that could probably run a small country. You've got like 6 different planners, all perfectly color-coded, and yet it's 2 p.m., you're just kind of staring into the void, maybe eating some cereal straight from the box, and wondering where the entire day went. You have the perfect plan, so why can't you just do the thing?
Most of the world looks at this and slaps a label on it. Lazy, lacks discipline. But what if that's not just wrong, but completely backward? What if that struggle to get started has nothing to do with being a slacker and everything to do with being a high-functioning, analytical thinker?
So that's what we're going to do today. We're diving deep and decoding what I call the lazy genius paradox. We're going to look at the actual psychology behind why some of the smartest people on the planet are also master procrastinators, and how that so-called weakness is actually a secret weapon. I mean, if you've ever pulled off a 2-week project in the last 2 hours and totally nailed it, you're going to want to stick around for this. All right, so first up, let's talk about why you create these incredible, super optimized systems for your life only to completely ditch them a week later. You know the drill. You map out the perfect morning routine, the perfect workout plan, but when that alarm actually goes off, it feels like there's a physical force holding you back. Well, here's the thing. It's because your brain isn't wired for the grunt work. For a mind like yours, the real excitement, that big dopamine hit, comes from the intellectual challenge of designing the perfect system. It's all about solving the puzzle, creating the ultimate blueprint. But of course, once the blueprint is done, the fun is kind of over. And that's the core conflict, right? The thrill is in the design. The bore is in the execution. To your brain, the repetitive, day in, day out labor of actually following the plan you made is, frankly, mind-numbingly dull. You've already solved the interesting part. You basically built this perfect, beautiful city in your head. You just have zero interest in laying the bricks yourself. Okay, so let's move on to the second reason you get stuck. And honestly, this one can be even more paralyzing. It's your brain's absolute refusal to commit to any path that it deems, well, less than perfect.
You've probably heard the term for this, analysis paralysis. But it's so much more than just being indecisive. It's that feeling of being completely trapped, totally crushed by the sheer weight of all the possibilities. Your brain isn't just looking for a good option, it's hunting for the one single mythical option that has zero downsides, which, of course, never actually exists.
I mean, just think about something as simple as buying a new pair of shoes. For most people, it's a quick decision. For you, oh, it's a full-blown research project. You're comparing prices, reading 100 reviews, weighing the durability of the materials, and maybe even trying to predict if they'll still be in style in 5 years. What should be a simple choice becomes this exhausting marathon of data analysis. So here's the crucial reframe. You are not indecisive. You're actually hyper-decisive. You just make those decisions with a level of care and detail that most people wouldn't even consider. You put off starting things because to start means you have to commit to one imperfect path. And your brain is always whispering, hey, what if there's a better way? What if we just think about it for a little bit longer? And this brings us to the grand finale, the big one. The reason why so many brilliant people seem to do their best work with their backs against the wall at the absolute last minute. And I'm telling you, this isn't just a bad habit. It's a subconscious strategy. And if this is you, well, you're in some pretty remarkable company. I mean, some of the greatest minds in history were notorious procrastinators. Leonardo da Vinci, a certified genius if there ever was one, took something like 16 years on and off to finally finish the Mona Lisa. The brilliant author Douglas Adams totally got this too. He was famous for turning in his manuscripts late, but the results were always incredible. He understood that for a certain type of mind, pressure isn't the enemy. It's the one ingredient that brings everything into focus. So here's how this last-minute superpower really works. As that deadline gets closer and closer, the panic and adrenaline kick in, and they act like this amazing filter. Suddenly, all the overthinking, all the what-ifs, they just get silenced. The fear of totally failing finally becomes greater than the fear of being imperfect, and that's what forces your brain into this incredible state of pure hyperfocus. See, you weren't avoiding the work, you were just waiting for the perfect conditions to light up all that mental jet fuel, and then you crush it, every time. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? Look, if you've spent your whole life feeling guilty about these exact behaviors, it is time for a major shift in how you see yourself. You are not broken. For the lazy genius, procrastination is not some kind of moral failing. It's a complex and often highly effective cognitive strategy.
It's just the natural result of having a powerful brain that loves to design, demands perfection, and frankly, works best under a little bit of fire. It's not a bug that you need to fix. It's a feature of your operating system that you need to understand and learn how to use.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What is the greatest thing you have ever accomplished when you had way less time than you should have? Instead of seeing that as a failure of your planning, maybe it's time to see it for what it really is: absolute proof of your power.